Crawley. That's our destination right now, and the fallout from the pandemic has hit towns, particularly like Crawley, very hard. What with Gatwick being so badly impacted by travel restrictions, well, now it's been claimed that a bid for the area to become a free port could be a real lifeline. The government is set to create 10 free ports from across the UK where firms can import goods and then re-export them outside of the normal tax and customs rules. Well, the scheme was launched to try to bring a post-Brexit boom, but in the wake of COVID, some say it's needed all the more, especially for places like Crawley. Well, let's bring in Jonathan Sharrock, who's the chief exec of Coast to Capital, the local enterprise partnership, which is leading on the bid. Jonathan, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And where should we start here? Well, this would be known as Gatwick Freeport, but it would also cover the Manor business district as well.
That's correct. It's a great opportunity to identify a really important business park in our region and try and get the benefits of Freeport status, which the government's creating.
Right. For people who don't know Manor Royal specifically, how big an area is that, and what kind of, how many businesses you got there?
Well, it's a huge business park. It's the biggest business park in our area, so it's fundamental for the East Surrey economy, the Crawley economy, and it's home to a number of really significant businesses like Thales and a number of major medical manufacturing companies. But Manor Royal is 60 years old now, and it needs to have a focus for the next 50 years of operation. And we think the Freeport status is a really good way of doing that, given the benefits that Freeports will bring. Right.
For people who maybe just turn the radio on and think, Freeport, what on earth does that actually mean? What are those benefits? How does it work?
It's an opportunity to really promote investment in the area. So the first thing it would do is it would mean that all future business investment didn't attract business rates, didn't pay business rates. So that's obviously a huge incentive for businesses who want to grow there. There's various other benefits in terms of the planning arrangements on Manor Royal, but the main benefit of Freeports is that businesses operating there would be exempt from the tariffs and the trade duties that businesses pay when they import and export. So the idea is it becomes a global focus, an international focus for investment into the UK.
How bad has the last 12 months been for businesses in Crawley?
It's been really difficult. It's been really difficult across the whole region. But obviously, Gatwick Airport has been very badly affected. Passenger flights in 2020 were down around 80%, so a huge impact on all of the businesses that relied on the airport. What we really need to do in the region is help the airport grow and also diversify our business base. You know, there's too much reliance on commuting up to London for jobs, and we need to create jobs in Surrey and Sussex so that people can live and work locally.
So I guess that, look, if people can sort of import and export and there's all this tax advantage, there's going to be a real attraction to maybe manufacturing.
That's right, yeah, and modern manufacturing too. I mean, manufacturing is fundamental to the economy because innovation, creating new things and manufacturing them in this country is the future of our economy. You just have to look at what's happening with vaccine development and vaccine manufacturing in the UK. I think you can sometimes think of manufacturing as being low skill. Actually, it's incredibly high skill, high tech, high value economy. It's also high pay, and that's what we need more and more of in this part of the country, given how expensive it is to live here.
Yeah, tell me about it. Well, look, the bid's in. How long do you know before you're successful? And if you are chosen, what's the next step?
Well, it's going to be very competitive. We understand there's about 30 bids gone in. As you said earlier, there will be 10 free ports in the UK. So we'll be up against some stiff competition, particularly from the north and the Midlands, where there's a lot of bids for this sort of thing. But we're really confident. We've got a great team and great collaboration across the whole region with the local authorities, all of the businesses at Manor Royal, and the airport as well. And it's well backed by our MPs. So I think it'll be a really exciting time. We may hear in the budget, which is in a few weeks' time, or otherwise it'll be later in the spring, I think.
Jonathan, thanks for your time this morning. I'm going to bring in Steve Sawyer, who's the Executive Director at Manor Royal Business District. Steve, morning to you.
Morning.
Yeah, well, we heard a bit of the excitement there, but how badly have firms at Manor Royal been affected during the pandemic?
Yeah, it's been devastating, clearly. It's not to say that aren't some companies are actually still trading really well. Jonathan's mentioned medical companies, for example, and that's important to reflect on that because that's something we can build on. But the exposure, as Jonathan was saying there, to companies in the aviation sector, in other vulnerable sectors, is notable. And what this COVID crisis has told us is, we can't be complacent about our economy. Perhaps we have been for too long. We've overlooked the fact that we are vulnerable in certain respects, and in Manor specifically, we've got an exposure of about 15% of all of our companies in Manor. Employment in Manor is some way connected to the airport directly. And across the whole of the town and the wider region, it's a much bigger exposure. And we've read many, many times in the press and from different commentators about how badly affected Crawley and the region actually is. And the Freeport bid is a superb opportunity to try to respond to that and tell the government, look, here's a fantastic and exciting opportunity here. You're not building something from nothing. There's something to build on, but there's a real need here, and a Freeport status could really help to diversify our economy, make it more robust, and build in those kind of jobs for the future that we want our kids to go on and do.
Now, interesting that this whole idea is not actually COVID related because it was launched by the government to actually try and bring a post-Brexit boom to firms. But has Brexit caused any issues for the businesses at Manor Royal?
Yeah, it has. I mean, we've got not just those companies who export, like the Electors, like the Varians, and those kind of companies who are moving goods around. But we've got lots of the hauliers and the freight forwarders who also do that as well. And so it's more expensive. It's clunky. It's more delay. So it is causing problems. And I'm hoping that will get ironed out over time. We're still only new into this Brexit arrangements, but it is causing problems. Yeah.
Good talking to you, Steve. Well, good luck with that bid. Jonathan, thank you for your time as well.